Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves. This natural wealth promised a bright future. The discovery of oil in 1914 transformed Venezuela. It rapidly became one of the wealthiest countries in South America. Oil exports brought in huge revenues, fueling economic growth and social spending. For a while, Venezuela seemed destined for prosperity. However, this reliance on oil would prove to be a double-edged sword. The Venezuelan economy became dangerously dependent on a single commodity. Fluctuations in global oil prices would have a profound impact on the country's fortunes. This over-reliance on oil would lay the groundwork for future economic turmoil. Instead of diversifying its economy, Venezuela fell victim to the resource curse. This term describes how countries with abundant natural resources can paradoxically suffer from economic stagnation and instability. Venezuela's governments, instead of using oil wealth wisely, engaged in short-sighted policies. An ongoing socio-economic and political crisis began in Venezuela during the presidency of Hugo Chavez and has worsened during the presidency of successor Nicolás Maduro. They focused on populist measures to appease the population rather than investing in sustainable development. This lack of economic diversification made Venezuela extremely vulnerable to external shocks. When oil prices were high, the economy boomed. But when prices fell, as they inevitably do, the country faced economic disaster. The seeds of Venezuela's economic collapse were sown during the years of plenty. The decline in oil prices in 2014 exposed the fragility of Venezuela's economy. The country went into a tailspin. Oil revenues, which made up the lion's share of government income, plummeted. The government, used to easy money, had no plan B. It resorted to printing more money, which only fueled hyperinflation. The economic crisis quickly escalated into a humanitarian one. Shortages of food, medicine, and basic goods became widespread. People were forced to queue for hours to buy basic necessities. The healthcare system crumbled, leading to a resurgence of preventable diseases. Venezuela's economic collapse had a devastating impact on its people. Section 4. The price of mismanagement. Venezuela's economic meltdown was not just a result of external factors like falling oil prices. It was exacerbated by years of economic mismanagement and corruption. The government's response to the crisis was characterized by incompetence and authoritarianism. Instead of implementing sound economic policies, it resorted to price controls and nationalizations, which only worsened the situation. Corruption became rampant, with government officials and their cronies siphoning off what little wealth remained. This further eroded public trust and exacerbated the crisis. Venezuela's tragic experience serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of economic mismanagement, corruption, and the over-reliance on a single resource. Section 5. Norway's success. A stark contrast. Norway, another oil-rich nation, presents a stark contrast to Venezuela's downfall. Like Venezuela, Norway discovered vast oil reserves in the 20th century. However, Norway chose a different path, one marked by prudent management and long-term vision. Instead of squandering its oil wealth, Norway established a sovereign wealth fund, the world's largest, to invest its oil revenues for future generations. Norway also focused on diversifying its economy, investing in education, technology, and renewable energy. As a result, Norway boasts a high standard of living, a robust welfare state, and a diversified economy that is less vulnerable to oil price fluctuations. Norway's success story demonstrates that resource wealth can be a blessing, not a curse, if managed responsibly. Section 6. Lessons for emerging markets. Avoiding the Venezuelan trap. Venezuela's economic collapse holds valuable lessons for other emerging market economies, especially those dependent on natural resources. The key takeaway is the importance of economic diversification. Countries should avoid becoming overly reliant on a single commodity, no matter how abundant it may seem. Investing in education, infrastructure, and technology is crucial for creating a more diversified and resilient economy. Equally important is the need for sound economic management, transparency, and the rule of law. Corruption and mismanagement can quickly erode the benefits of resource wealth, as Venezuela's case demonstrates. By learning from Venezuela's mistakes, other emerging markets can chart a more sustainable and prosperous path.